Starburns Audio.
Thank you for listening to the Starburns Audio Podcast Network. We have so many great comedy shows to add to your playlist. Just last week on Starburns Audio, on the Season 2 premiere of Humans Who Make Games, Adam Conover talks to comedian Ron Funches and Jean Goudon, creative director of the Assassin's Creed series. On Boogie Monster, Kyle Kinane and Dave Stone share a perfect recipe for the quarantined cook. This week on Profiles and Eccentricity, they cover the history of the Coruscant Unity cult, folks for whom a flat earth is ridiculous because they believe it's really a concave shell. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for our full list of shows, featuring hosts like Joe Coy, Amanda Seales, Jessica Chobot, and Jackie Johnson. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Starburns Audio. Enjoy the show. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep laughing.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Benders, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you.
Population Fitzdog.
Fitzsimmons, Greg Fitzsimmons, a.k.a.
Fitzdog.
the host of Fitzdog Radio. Is it still Fitzdog Radio?
It will always be Fitzdog Radio. And, you know, there was a time in my life where I should have made a strategic change in my branding.
And
I was in Boston, and a woman calls up the Faneuil Hall Comedy Connection. And let's assume she's an overweight black woman for the sake of the story.
okay,
Fine.
sure, fine.
She calls the club, and she goes, who on the show tonight? She was from the 19th century.
Yeah, sure.
Who on the show tonight?
And then they go, well, it's Anthony Clark, Jackie Flynn, and Greg Fitzsimmons. And she goes, is Grapefruit Simmons the headliner? And at that moment,
You should have been
I should have
Simmons.
changed my name to Grapefruit Simmons.
Grapefruit Simmons is always the headliner.
Grapefruit
no matter where
Simmons-
he goes in the lineup.
Grapefruit Simmons is a boxer who always won, but his eyes got punched so hard they would just swell the size of grapefruits.
That's right.
And that was just like,
But Grapefruit Simmons, like a little sugar on top, it's a bittersweet show.
It's bittersweet. It's fresh.
cuts to the core of what's going on.
There's a little jaundice as a child.
Grapefruit Simmons only has cordless mics.
That's right.
That's it.
Grapefruit Simmons sits on the floor when he does stand-up.
That's right.
Yeah. I go on the Citrus Comedy Tour.
Yeah, Grapefruit Simmons sometimes doesn't wear shoes or socks when he performs.
And one of my fans actually liked the story, and so he made a T-shirt with a grapefruit with my glasses and hat on it.
I love it.
And I sell them on my website.
There you go.
Look at that.
Grapefruit Simmons.
At what website? What's the website?
Fitzdog.com.
Fitzdog.com. All right.
great.
Well, I'm sure you are aware of this. We've spoken with you about this before. We think the world's getting dumber, or dumb is getting louder, or dumb and smart are fighting, and
And dumb has dumb drunk strength that it's just beating. You know, it can't be stopped. It can't be tased by.
Yes.
It can't be tased by reason. So we are trying to.
Dumber
collectively-
is stronger, isn't it, in general?
way stronger, and now just seems to have like a wave of confidence. It's
Yeah.
like out in the open now, and it can just destroy.
Why is that? Like, even think about grammar school. The dumb kids were the bullies.
Yes.
The smart kids were never tougher.
Yeah,
It was
Why
like
not?
Shoving math papers in your face.
And it's,
Yeah.
the smart kids like try to play Dumb's game. They
Yeah.
lose.
You lose.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Dumb's
yeah.
game.
That's right.
So
Just
the
ask Hillary.
only way we can fight back is through comedy, we believe, and we get dumb ears on the ground, and they send us these great stories, and Dan gets them, and Dan, great.
We
to
have
see
not
you.
seen him. Fitz, you haven't seen him. Grapefruit, you haven't seen him. So let's get into one right now.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Wow.
This was
straight
sent in
into
by
it.
Casey Kustik, Kustak, Kustik? I don't know. At Casey K_comedy. Thank you, Casey.
Thanks.
All right.
Here we go. A Florida couple was arrested last week That's it. That's the whole.
There you go.
Okay.
Done.
That
Story
must be the
two.
premise
Moving
of
on.
half of your stories. right there. Yeah.
They were arrested
Well,
last
so
week.
by the way, the couple that gets arrested together does stay together. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like, when was the last time you did something with your wife that's as committed as
Getting arrested.
together?
well, there's nothing sweeter than that visiting room.
Yeah,
You know, where you try
the
to.
conjugal bed.
Yes, you take an 8-ball, you put it in a hole, you pass it across.
That happens a lot here.
But the other thing about it is that moment where you get arrested for doing something, it's the horrible moment of like, oh my God, what have I done? And then the other horrible moment of,
I gotta
shit,
now
I
tell
gotta
my-
tell my wife.
Yeah.
Or my
I gotta
spouse.
reveal it to my spouse, my
But
husband
they're
or wife.
there with you. There's no one else to
Yeah,
reveal
but
it to.
if you're getting arrested with your
Except
husband
for
or
your
wife,
stepkids.
are you, while being arrested, sorting out like who's
Whose fault?
who's fault? Well, who's going to watch the kids?
Yeah, there is no sorting out.
You know what I mean? Because if you're the woman getting arrested and your husband's just there, you're like, honey, call so and so, tell. But if you're together, they must keep talking. Like if I got arrested with my friend, like I'm not going to keep talking to my friend.
No. But you have a lot to sort out with your spouse.
a lot
While
of
you're being
logistical
arrested.
stuff when
Yes.
you're arrested with your
Are we
spouse.
wrong?
You should have a point person, depending on your socioeconomic status.
Sure.
You need a point person these things. Because if you're wealthy, you've got a lawyer.
Right.
If you're not wealthy, you've got a crazy uncle or a cousin who's like, I'll take care of it.
I got it.
Well,
Right.
grandparents step in a lot, and you got to think the reason why you may be the type of person that gets arrested could be your parents.
Yeah.
And now they're taking over for your child.
So them stepping in is only like the universe coming around and being like, this is justice.
Reinfecting the
All right, what
A
happened?
Florida couple
The
was
well.
arrested last week after they were caught allegedly selling drugs out of a drive-through window they constructed on the side of their mobile home.
Okay.
I'm
gonna give
that
them
is
credit.
taking your business to another level.
Yeah.
Hey, I
We
know
work from home.
We are selling drugs out of the mobile home, but people just don't want to come all the way
I know.
in.
Imagine this
Yeah.
conversation, honey. Hear me out.
We're going to save them
We
so
can
much
service
time.
so much more people.
I've been watching a lot of House Hunters Renovation, the hour-long episodes, and I don't think it's that hard to frame out a window.
We already have a window.
We could really
Not
open
only
this
that,
space
we
up.
can deliver.
We're in a mobile fucking home.
Now, lazy people go to drive-through windows. Really lazy people have drive-through windows come to their house.
Right. You just honk, honk. We're coming through with the drive-through.
Honey, do we do one window or two? Like, is this a McDonald's
I
scenario?
say-
Yeah.
Or a bank. Do they send it in that little chute that
Yeah,
goes down?
the-
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they carved out, two windows. One is to order
Right.
and pay, and the other is to
Which
pick
is
it up.
like the wire. Like you
in and
have a
out.
corner
Yes,
guy who grabs
yes.
the money, and then
Yeah.
another corner guy who brings you the drugs.
Yes.
Right.
William Parrish Jr., Billy P.
William the Refrigerator Parish.
Yeah. And
mini
Mackenzie Dobbs of Ocala, Florida, were arrested on
She
August.
didn't took his name. She didn't take his name. How committed is she to the
I don't know if
marriage?
I don't think they're married.
There are
they're
just
just
a
a couple.
couple. So
Okay.
they're
Right.
not-
A
Yeah.
lot of common law in Florida. A lot of common law.
Yeah.
Out of happenstance.
We ain't a
not
real
love.
couple.
So then
for
I
3
guess
more
it's
years.
good that they don't have the same last name. So they're not like
Yeah.
brother, sister,
I
or
want to
cousin.
marry you, but I don't think we can afford the divorce.
Well, if you put that fucking
I'm just
drive-through,
thinking ahead.
you put that window in, we're gonna be able to afford everything.
I'm just thinking ahead.
They're looking at like a standard home, and they're like, with the realtor, they're like, "Can you put a drive-through in this home?"
No.
Because where we're at right now, granted, it's a mobile
Yeah.
home, but we've got a good setup.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Dobbs of Ocala, Florida, were arrested on August 23rd after investigators raided their mobile home following reports of 4 drug overdoses in the area. So they were not giving out good stuff.
Right.
Or good instruction. Like I get a thing that comes with my with stuff from the pharmacy, like 12 pages that I just throw away of like
Yes.
instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
I never read
You're
it.
probably
I'm
doing
like-
it wrong.
I'm like, but I know what to do with I know how many to take just because I know. I think they probably needed better instructions in the handout when they gave out the meth.
Yeah, and like when I go to Rite Aid, they always ask, "Do you want to consult a pharmacist?" And you check no, but in this case, you should not even be able to check no. When you get a vial of crack, it is a mandatory.
Consult the chemist.
Right.
Yes,
Ocala police said the couple had
get a
turned.
mouth guard.
So by the
You're
way,
gonna grind.
and you know these guys are saying we did everything right. this is on the people who fucked up and OD'd.
Right.
So that's like, we did everything
If
right.
those dummies wouldn't have OD'd on our great stuff, we would still be selling stuff out
drive-through
of it.
Or they
windowing.
go, hey, you want an endorsement of our product? People are taking so much of it.
Yeah,
they're
they
ODing.
They can't stop
You
themselves.
think we wanted to put a drive-thru in?
Yeah.
We're just meeting demand here.
That's right.
necessity.
Ocala police said the couple had turned a kitchen window into a drive-thru so customers would not have to constantly enter and exit their home, potentially drawing unwanted attention. Meanwhile, you have a line of cars
Yes, and people
outside. Also, imagine them being like, honey, I get it. We're in the drug business. I just don't want these people in our house.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do?
Drive-through.
Drive-through.
Drive-thru's
window.
good.
No
Well,
one will pay attention to the fact that there's 11 cars lined up outside of our
Jeez.
mobile home.
And also, when you want to leave work, you can just start work
Right.
and move it.
Right.
And then go back to that location the next
That's a
day.
great
This way
point.
you're not renting office space
Right.
and a home.
Right.
You're not fishing in the same place every time.
The house.
It's a meth food truck, is what it is.
Yeah.
The house had signs directing people where to drive and indicated whether or not it was open or closed. These two idiots seem to be thinking they're just living in a drug-free world.
Yeah,
or
or
like
like-
a drug-full world.
Or it's like when your kids were really little and they would crouch down and close their eyes and think that you can't see them
Yeah.
because they can't see you. That's exactly what
Yeah.
these people thought.
Look,
They
Well,
have
like
shades. They pull down their shades.
and no one can see us.
Yeah.
These signs are just to help the people that are buying the stuff.
the cops roll up like, what are you guys doing? Like, those signs weren't for you.
No.
That doesn't
you're not
pertain
supposed
to you,
to see
officer.
that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was
Can you
that-
see me right now?
We were seeing incidents that were happening in a particular area, specifically at this particular location. So the cops didn't even, that's not hard. Said Ocala Police Captain Stephen Cuppy. There were some heroin sales that were going on there. Subsequently, through the investigation, we were able to determine that the product was laced with fentanyl. Here is a picture of their drive-through
Fentanyl
window.
is like what they give pregnant women
Look at this.
so that they
They had like a
close.
No
Be back
way.
in 5 minutes sign.
Yes.
That's
their
amazing.
mobile home.
That is.
What do you think the cops showed up and were like, guys, come on?
Come on.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they got to feel pretty good about it. Like,
Who? The cops?
the cops are like,
have
that's
to- Why?
impressive.
You gotta-
For
how
a
could they
minute,
feel-
you
feel
go,
good?
that's impressive. Like, it depends if this
We're
guy's a
arresting
cuppy.
you,
They
but-
feel good about like being, all right, you guys put forth a lot of effort. They
Yes.
don't feel good about their detective
No.
work, right? 'Cause
No,
this
but
was literally
this was an easy
signs.
find. But
Is
you
he a
have to give
cuppy
them
half
credit.
empty or a cuppy half full guy?
Parrish was charged with driving under the influence. I don't know how that came into play.
His house?
I don't know. Keeping a dwelling used to sell drugs, possession of drugs with intent to sell, and resisting arrest without violence. I always wonder how that works too. Do you just say no too
Yeah.
many times? Like,
Sir,
don't stop
sir,
touching me.
nope.
Just stop.
So you're
That's
gonna have to come
resisting
with me.
arrest
Nope.
without
Is
violence?
resisting arrest starting your office and moving it down the street?
Yeah. Or is it just walking in a circle while they try to cuff you?
yeah,
Right.
you're not
Yeah.
violently doing it. You're
Right.
just making it difficult for them.
You'd rather not be arrested is the charge.
Right.
no.
Dobbs has been charged with keeping a dwelling to sell drugs and possession of drugs with intent to sell.
That's going to be fun to be the guy that you tell what happened and then he comes up with the crimes that you broke.
Right.
Because some
Great.
of these are really obscure.
Right.
I know.
So
Criminal
my favorite
mischief.
criminal mischief is our favorite
Yes.
because it's
catch-all.
fun.
Yeah.
It's like it's just enjoyable. Like you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like you showed your balls at a parade.
Or
It's like
TV
you know what I mean? Like, that's
TV to
cool.
house on
TV to
homecoming.
house.
Or you farted in a baby's face and
Yeah.
they saw you do
That's
it.
Yeah.
criminal mischief.
You said nah, 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 nah to a cop.
that's criminal mischief. That's fun, but like, yeah,
You made pee-pee in somebody's coat.
yes.
William Parrish.
They put the Chinese handcuffs on you for that.
William Parrish
prison.
Sr. You called this Fitzsimmons. The parents always come into play.
Yeah.
He said his son's trying to get himself straightened out and maintained that reports of overdoses were a lie. That's our world that we're in now.
So
That's
now
just a
we're
lie.
like
So the cops
fake
are like,
news.
Fake
Fake
news.
The cops are just like, yeah, you're right, man. You're right. We just made up people getting overdoses and used that as an opportunity to literally follow the signs to your son's mobile home.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not true. Like,
And as if overdosing, does that affect the crime? The severity
no.
of the crime?
No. Not at all.
You are doing something wrong. You shouldn't be selling these drugs here.
Yeah, I guess it kind of doesn't matter how they found out about it. So if you want to say that the overdosing is a lie, fine, but they still somehow found out. Some way they found out
Right.
about your son's dumb business.
right. It doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
Right.
Well, no, I guess maybe because it's laced with fentanyl. That's like saying say you got food poisoning in a restaurant and you came back, and this is always a great one. Hey, I got food poisoning here. You guys owe me a free meal.
I'd be like, you sure?
I want to do that. I wouldn't. I want to do that at like Morton's Steakhouse. Just see what happens.
They'd probably give it to you.
I bet they would. I bet they would.
I'm going to let you guys choose. You are a guest, Greg Fitzsimmons. Would you like? We usually play a game here called Guess the Agey. Would you like to try and guess the age of Mackenzie Dobbs or William Parrish?
Too much fun leaves marks in life. Living hard, you'll pay the price. Who is gonna get it right? Guess the age, guess the age.
Knowing what we know about them.
Both of them. Yeah.
Own a mobile home.
One of them has a dad that tries to make excuses for their life.
They
put
made
a be back
a
later sign in the
drive-through
window.
They had a be back later.
You can pick the girl or the man that you would like to try and guess the age of. And then you can choose if you want to go first, Tig, which is second, or third.
I'm going to go third.
Okay, and who would you like to guess?
The man.
Parrish.
Parrish.
Okay,
the man.
William
Okay.
Parrish Jr., who's defended by his, I hope, lawyer and dad,
Yeah.
William Parrish Sr., with that great defense. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lie. Okay, so Jason or Randy, guess the agey.
I'll go first. I think this guy is 39 years old.
39 years old for
He's
William
old enough
Parrish
to have
Jr.
seen enough that he would go get that sign. Like a young kid doesn't get
There's
a
a certain level of entrepreneurship
a
in that,
young
right?
kid doesn't get a be back in 5 minutes sign. Like no
Yeah.
way. No way.
Unless he's fresh out of business school.
You say, Jason,
FIU.
I'm gonna.
Wait. All right, okay.
I'm gonna say 29.
29 years old.
I think his Saturn has returned. I think he is. He's in a relationship where he's like, I got this figured out. You know
He's
how
got
when
a-
you're
he's got a
29?
Dreamcatcher tattoo.
I think we met you when you were about 27, 26?
27?
Yeah, and I forgot when we went down to D.C. to do those shows at the Kennedy Center
Oh,
with you.
yeah.
And hung with Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
How crazy was that?
And Richard Pryor was there that
Richard
week.
Pryor was being
honored.
honored.
He was being honored, and I got to shake his hand. He couldn't really speak very
Well,
much.
he kept
but
his
I
hand
shook his
kind of
hand.
still, but it just
It was shaking while you were shaking.
Jason and
Come
Randy.
on. Hey,
By the way, if Pryor were alive, he would have loved that.
Oh,
He would have
yeah,
thought that was
absolutely.
funny.
I hope
but
so.
but hey, look, you're white. But here's the deal. I do think
You are too.
I do think we knew you back then, and I think that if this was your life, if you weren't a comic and you were a drug dealer in a mobile home in this, I think you would be able to come up with this when you were 29.
I like to think so.
Okay.
So I'm saying
What is your
But
guess?
Fitzy was like always
Greg
wise
Fitzsimmons?
beyond you, to me, always seemed wise.
Really?
Beyond you. Yeah, like, even though you're just a few years older than us, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Fitzy always, like, you had the house in, out in Santa Monica, or you had you always like were a few steps ahead and had it together. I think of you as more together than this guy, than Parrish.
Well, that's nice. Well, I think part of that is because I had quit drinking, so everybody thought that I had my shit together
Right,
more.
right.
Which I guess I did because
Yeah.
you guys were
Because you
drinking.
quit drinking.
Yeah.
All right, good.
You knew what to do. All right. How old is this guy?
I'm gonna wait. Grad school, college gets you out at 22. Grad school is what? 2 more years.
Two or three.
Yeah.
And then he probably took a year off after high school to go to Europe and backpack, find himself a little bit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna wait. And if he went to a prep school that had a postgraduate year, maybe he was playing ice hockey.
Yep. And
That
just took
brings him
fifth year.
out into the street at 25. I'm going to say 25.
25 years old.
25, 29. What'd you
Okay.
say? 30?
I said 39. And he could be 60.
William?
Let's just be honest.
Parrish Jr., get your answers in now, Townies.
Fridge.
Is 32 years old.
Oh,
Jay.
Thank
Nice.
you. Thank you.
Mackenzie Dobbs,
Let's guess her age.
do you
Come
want
on.
to?
Yeah, why not?
not?
This is
Okay.
fun.
You want to go
Fun.
first, Tig, or third? Greg
On
Fitzsimmons.
the woman he's with. You now
I'm
know.
going to go third.
Okay, go
Okay.
third. Jay?
She's 29.
29
I'm gonna go
years
back
old
to
from
my
Jason
29.
Sklar.
She's younger.
I'm going to say she's 35. I'm going to say
35.
she kind of wears the pants in the family.
The
And he
Cougarous?
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
He looked up to her. He bagged an older gal. She was a senior when he was a freshman, and she constantly reminds him of that.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to
Fitzsimmons.
say she got out of high school at 18. Peace Corps is, I think, a minimum commitment of 2.5 years. That gets her out. And then Cosmo Magazine has an internship program for a year and a half. That brings her to 24 years old.
Okay. Mackenzie Dobbs, the accomplice in this business that they started together with
Venture.
William Parrish Jr., is, get your answers in now, Townies.
Shout
because
at your earbuds.
Mackenzie Dobbs is 20 years old.
Fantastic.
He's 12 years her senior.
You take away
Yeah.
that internship and that Peace Corps, and
He
you had it right at
definitely
20.
knew her when she was 8. And
Yes.
he was 20. And so
Yes.
I can't think about
thereby making it like so horrible that he's now with her. Oh, duh.
Well, maybe she started in the Winnebago as like as an apprentice.
Right. This is her internship.
Yeah, from high. Yeah, it was, it was her internship.
She's getting 2 college credits for this math
18
lab.
to 20, she went on. All right, well.
That's story number 1.
There we go.
Wow, that
story
was
number 1,
good.
down the road.
Really quick, before we go to that first break, I wanted to read off our people who have subscribed. Our loyal
To the drip-
listeners.
the
our
drip fans
Yes, our townies, our city council members, our pillars of the community, true locals.
Just to thank you guys personally for signing up.
Here we go. Ready?
Yes, Dan,
Here we
I
go.
love that
Just
you're
some
reading
for
it.
you guys.
Here we go.
eHey91, because they use like an email address. If they want to stay a little incognito,
eHey91.
you can stay in the shadows of Dumb People Town. if you want.
EA91 sounds like a chant you would start at like an NFL game.
Yep.
I agree.
eHey91.
Yeah, yes.
EA91.
Yeah. Renee Lazar.
Renee Lazar. Thanks, Renee Lazar.
Thomas, if you give us just your first name, we're going to respect it.
I think
so
it's
know
Dave
that
Thomas
you.
from Wendy's.
You do?
Could be.
It could be. Maybe it's not.
John Palmer. What kind of drink is that?
I'll take a John Palmer.
It's a whiskey lemonade.
First of all, it fits right in your hand. It's a whiskey.
It's always in a little sift or drifter.
Uh-huh.
Sifter?
Snifter.
I don't know.
Snifter.
Snifter?
Sniffer.
Snifter.
Yeah.
Snifter.
Yeah. Nicole, you are a member of our town, and we're happy to
Thanks,
have you here.
Nicole.
And Colette.
Thank
and
you.
Nisa.
Thank you,
Yes.
Colette.
And Gavin Biddick.
Biddick.
I love
Biddick.
Conicles of Biddick.
Biddick.
Dan Graham, Heather Larson, Molly Temple.
What if it was Heather Graham and Dan Larson?
There you go.
Heather Graham from Boogie
Heather
Nights.
Graham is
man.
like a huge fan
But
of
it's
us.
Dan Graham and Heather Larson. We love you guys.
Molly Temple? That sounds like a punk band from London in like 1979.
Dude, I went to that Molly Temple show.
Yeah, dude.
Only 4 people died.
Kurt
Dude,
B.
Your body's a temple, which is why you should take Molly.
Kurt B.
The Cardi B of our list.
Becky Lynn,
Becky Lynn.
and Tyler.
Becky Lynn feels like I know that's her first and last name, but she was like,
It might not be.
I'll give you first and middle, but I'm not giving you the last.
It might be her middle name, but she was one of the lead singers of ELO. Continue.
And Tyler Mavidi.
Mavidi.
I mean, if he's my friend, all I call him is Mavidi.
His first name is never spoken.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't said Tyler. If
Who's
I'm his
coming
friend,
to the party tonight?
Mavidi.
like
Then you know-
basketball, Mavidi. Up top.
Then you know it's going to be good.
Hey,
Thank you.
what are the Veets on the Mavidi party?
I don't know. What are the deets? Thank you to all the drip people who have signed up.
This is a great way for you to support this podcast, get extra content, and support Jan Flato. We've just started this last month. We're already up to, I think, around 375, maybe 400 people. We need to get this to 5,000. So if you're thinking about it, you haven't done it yet, it's very easy to sign up, like one of the most simple things ever, and you're going to get great extra stuff. Get on board with this, guys. We want you.
d.rip/DPT and you can sign up today. All right, let's take a break. We're already in Dumb People Town. Greg Fitzsimmons is with us. We'll talk to him about what he's got going on right after this. Stay with us.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
It's a trying time that challenges all of our basic assumptions. However, one thing that brings us all together is our common humanity. Now, more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges. And Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format. Plus, tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Teams of all shapes and sizes and companies like Google, Fender, and even Costco all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. No matter what device you're using, computer, tablet, or phone, Trello syncs across all of them, so you can stay up to date on all the things your team cares about. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to DPT, Dumb People Town. Before we talk to Greg about what he's doing, and he has great stuff, we want to remind people that we have a drip thing, which is a way for you to give money to get extra content and really cool stuff. And we have new merch coming out and all this great stuff. And we read the names earlier. We read names of the people who've contributed. We'll do that on the show. But we're trying to get this guy Jan Flato his money back, so we need everyone to sign up for Drip. It's d.rip/DPT. Jump on board with that. And Fitzdog, what's happening with you?
I mean, you just spent some time writing on Crashing in New York. Both seasons? Did you were?
Well, there was 3 seasons I wrote on the second and the third.
Right,
Many
that's what I
say
meant.
the better of the 3.
Oh!
And so that was, we write for a few months in L.A.
Right.
And then we head out to New York for like 3.5 months.
How is that to go back to the scene of kind of not where it began for you, but where things really picked up
It's
for you?
so amazing.
Do you just go and you just love it? You're like, see you
Going
later,
and-
family. I'm just doing my thing.
Well, I come back most weekends. I fly back most weekends. Then the family flew out for two different weeks.
That's cool.
And but then when I was in New York, it's just going to the Comedy Cellar and
Yes.
doing spots. It doesn't get any better than that.
It's amazing. You're loving it, and you're amidst like this new scene of people, but there's still like the Attels are around. And
Yeah, but it's
Godfrey's
true.
are-
There's a lot of great new young comics that I got to know there.
awesome.
And, just hanging with Attell and DePaulo and Quinn and,
It's great.
some black people too.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Michael Che.
Yeah. I
Hilarious.
love that you set him outside of the group of black people.
Michael Che. No, he was thinking.
I was
you're
thinking-
of black people too.
Yeah.
It took him a minute.
Well, there was, Keith Robinson. Hung out with him a lot.
Know him well.
And then Mariana, the black girl. That's
Okay.
her stage name.
I don't want to do this where we're just you're thinking of black comedians that you've hung out with. This feels like a bad road to go down. But how fun was it to work on this project with Judd? What was his interaction in the thing?
Well, he's Judd comes in and just basically you do a bunch of work and then Judd comes in and tells you what you did right and what you did wrong.
Really?
And he's always right.
He's always right.
I mean,
He just pulls apart story and he goes, this wouldn't happen because people don't behave like that.
Great.
He's all about human behavior.
Yep, right.
And instincts and emotions and what's the arc, not just of the episode, but he really has always got an eye on the whole season because
Yeah.
he knows that when people watch shows now, they'll watch
They'll
the
watch all of
season
them
in
together.
5-6
That's
nights.
Right. That's right.
So it really is crucial that one runs into the other and that there's an arc over the whole season.
Yeah, and the last scene in one episode, you're like, all right, I got to watch this next one. I
Right.
got to get right into this, and that there's something pulling you to the next thing.
Yeah, because you don't have that, since it's HBO, we don't have commercial breaks.
Right.
Which is such a relief because, with traditional sitcoms,
You'd have to
you
heighten
have-
things at a certain point.
right,
For no reason. Or just
no
for the reason
reason.
of trying to keep them through 3 minutes.
of commercials.
Of soap
Right.
commercials.
Right.
But you're still doing the podcast?
Still doing the podcast and then out on the road doing a bunch of
Fitzdog.
stuff.
Phenomenal stand-up comedian, someone who we've known and loved for years and years and years, and just always been close with. Ever since your show, Idiot Savants and Apartment 2F were on the same,
That's right.
in the same block of programming. Although yours was a daily show, yours was so much harder to pull off because there were so many more of them.
Hilarious game show on MTV in 1996.
With your sidekick, our buddy and fan favorite on this show, Matt
Price, the brain.
The Brain, Eric Friedman writing on that show, Dugan on that show.
Jason Nash.
Jason Nash
Jason
wrote on
Nash.
that show. Yeah, and a black guy.
Okay,
Hey, come
stop
on.
it.
I'm coming up at the Mohegan Sun
Give
October
your Twitter
5th
handle too, so that people can
Go
say
right at
thanks
you.
for all these-
at Greg Fitz Show.
There you
All
go.
right, where are you? Mohegan Sun.
Mohegan Sun, October 5th and I don't know, 5th
Where's
and 6th.
that?
It's in Connecticut.
Great.
Nice.
Niagara Falls at the Corner Comedy Club on
Nice.
October 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Great.
Then we'll be at the Providence Comedy Connection October 19th
You love
and
it.
20.
Very good.
back in the Northeast, and then a
Northeast.
bunch of dates coming up later in the fall in San Francisco and New Year's Eve in Portland.
Great.
Oh, I love
Nice.
it.
New Year's
Come
Eve in
on.
Portland. That's
Nice.
phenomenal.
That'll be fun.
Oh, my God. I
Smoke
love
a little
Portland.
marijuana.
Yes.
And then you roll.
It's Oregon.
All right, you guys want to do a second
Let's
story?
do a second story.
Here we go. This was sent in by Josh Mout. I always say it wrong. I'm sorry, buddy. At JMOUAT.
Moet.
Mowat?
Mowat.
I don't know.
They make a good champagne.
Henrico County, Virginia.
Okay, I thought it was It's not Enrique and it's not Enrico. It's Henrico.
Henrico?
Do they grow herbs there?
I don't know. Here's the first line. You can't make this stuff up.
Okay.
Yes, you
I
can.
bet you can.
First of all, you can make
totally
anything
can.
up.
Yeah,
Right.
that is a kind of a pretty deep question on this show. Is do you fact check that these are real stories?
We do. There's usually a source.
And usually the police.
Here's
not that
what we
you
do.
trust
Here's
the
what we
police,
do.
But they document
Fitz.
pretty well what's going on.
Yeah.
Fitz, if a story is crazy, Dan will verify whether it's fake or not.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Well, to our best ability.
yeah, I'm just a man.
Once in a while, we are
You're a
research.
simple man.
Yeah. Simple boy from Rochelle, Illinois. We just
Farming
had one
people?
recently.
You come from farming people?
We just had one sent to us about a guy crashed his car while trying to perform oral sex on himself. Right? Great story. It was hilarious. And then I was like, "What's the guy's name?" Couldn't find it. Where did this happen? Couldn't find
it.
it.
Now
So then I
you start
tapped that
to
into
get this-
Google and I was like, "Oh, this is fake."
This
Fake.
is
Yeah.
This is an old
so
wives'
it's usually
tale.
if I get suspicious when it's not credited to any other news source. Like,
Although
usually-
now
yeah.
that you've put it out there, I'm going to have a long drive home.
you know what,
A
Go for it.
long and dangerous drive
Sig
home.
alert
for
on the
it.
405.
There's a man weaving. He's bobbing.
You can't make this stuff up.
Guys, you literally cannot make this stuff
You
up.
can make it up.
Students and parents in a Henrico neighborhood learned some shocking news at the start of the school year. There's a pun in there, you just don't know it yet. At the corner of East Berry Street and South Wilson Way in Henrico, several students from both middle school and high school stand and wait for the bus. I'm going to read you the headline too, because I don't.
By the
it
way,
gets into
they
it
were
right now.
electrocuted by something.
They
Yep.
tried to blow themselves.
The home next to the bus stop has an electric fence around the yard, just a few inches away from where the students wait.
The home
Yes.
next to the thing has an electric fence like
Right.
it's a women's prison.
The headline for this article, by the way, is Parents Outraged After Man Installs Electric Fence Near School Bus Stop.
Yeah, that should not happen.
Right.
At all.
That's a guy
No
who
strip
just...
clubs, no electric fences.
There you go.
No pot
sex
dispensaries.
no sex in the champagne room.
None. The man who put the fence up did not post a sign on the fence to warn children, which prompted a call to Henrico police. This guy wanted to just see what would
Stealth.
happen in
He
front
put
of
that
him.
up in the middle of the night too, didn't
This
he?
is a
Yeah.
guy who has had it up to here with kids making noise at 7:50 in the morning.
Yes.
In the periods between 7:42 and 7:52, he is up to here with it.
It's
I
in-
would argue it gets louder, though, once you electrocute them.
right.
Yeah,
You're actually creating more of a problem for yourself.
He was quietly electrocuted to death.
That's never.
He had them debarked, and then he had them electric fence.
How many kids do you think it took before they stopped doing it?
I
Because
think
once one does it, another one will be like, what? This fence?
You mean in one morning, how many did it?
I'm just curious.
How many
There's no
how many
fact
times
here.
did
Dan is
guys
just talking
get-
about the stupidity of kids. We're like,
How many
what's that?
times
Yeah,
are
right.
guys though getting on their hands and knees behind another guy, and then
Oh.
someone pushes them into the electric fence?
Yeah. Right. Or maybe it's like when you have one of those bug zappers and one after another go in, like, are you not watching your
Yeah.
friend?
Right.
What?
No
What
one's
is
paying
over
attention.
here? What is that?
Are they just walking and texting
yes,
into the
walking
fence?
right
Yeah.
into it while texting.
Quote,
Millennials.
it's insane, said one resident who did not wish to share her name. I love the idea that somebody out there was like, I'm going to say this is insane.
By the way,
do
you're-
not tell
I have
anybody.
a strong opinion.
By the
but
way,
I
you're
do not want recognition.
You're really going out on a limb
Oh,
there,
I know.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Saying that a guy who put up an electric fence around a bus stop near a bus stop.
It's the
and
it's
did
the
park-
unnamed source from the White House.
Yeah.
The corner looked more like a crime scene rather than a school bus stop on Tuesday.
Really?
I don't know. Someone said it was electric. I was like, whoa.
It's
said-
electric.
Hey, boogie, said another concerned parent.
We won't give their name.
It doesn't.
That's their quote.
Brian Tucker says he put the electrical fence around his yard because he grew tired of students trespassing and leaving trash on his property.
I get being mad about that.
He
You just
assumed-
handle it the wrong way.
He assumed
Yeah.
the fence would keep the children away. No, that is not what you assumed. You
By the way,
assumed you were about to shock some fucking
Yes.
kids.
By the way, a regular fence
Would also
have
keep
kept
kids.
This is like when Serena Williams, who, in my opinion, without a doubt, 100%, we should not get mad at her for losing her shit on this umpire. She is a new parent. We said this out in the world.
Yeah.
There were moments when my child, my first baby, was 9 months old where I'd just walk into Ralph's at like 1 a.m, grocery store here, and just turn to someone who has not said one word to me and say, "You owe me a fucking apology." I mean, I've said that. So I'm saying, like,
Because let's be honest, she was yelling at the umpire, but she was
really yelling at her baby. You owe me an apology for putting.
She could have, and you know how strong Serena is. She could have shaken the hell out of that
Right,
baby.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's be glad that she put it on the umpire and not on an infant.
My point is, you're right. The umpire is kind of being a dick to you, and stop right there. Don't say that this is a sexist thing.
Don't put up an electric fence.
Don't make it into. She put up an electric fence when a regular fence would have done the trick.
Well, which was more effort, building a high voltage metal fence or picking up some Dorito wrappers?
There you go.
Exactly.
Which is more expensive.
This is what Tucker said. I'm not in charge of other people's children. That has nothing to do with whether or not you put a fence up.
What about the other neighbor who's like, I beg to differ, sir.
I'm not directing other people's children what to do. All I can do is protect myself, and that's why I've got a fence up.
Protect myself.
I know. So that doesn't really sound like a yard issue. That sounds like a fear issue.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're afraid of kids.
That's right.
I'm going to show you guys what Brian Tucker looks like.
Is he? Let me guess.
He looks
He looks exactly like the guy who would put up an electric fence
Salt and
around.
pepper goatee, 80 pounds overweight.
He looks like a Kyle Dunnigan character.
I was going to say,
Look at this guy.
Oh,
shades
wow.
on, hat like.
That looks like an Onion headline.
Doesn't it? Look at
He seems like the kind of guy that would rally for kids to have guns, like preschoolers
He
to have
also
guns.
seems like the type
Yeah.
of guy that will constantly tell you when showing you stuff that he owns that it's military grade.
Oh, 100%.
I'm
100%.
I'm guessing that when the crowd chants "build that wall," he's in there with them.
Oh yeah,
He is.
he's
Yeah.
starting the chant.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
This picture will also be
He's
on the
like, can
Facebook
we
page.
electrify the wall as well?
Electrify that wall! Electrify that wall!
He seems to be like a guy who got his greatest life lessons from his uncle.
Yes.
Dad wasn't around. Dad was around, like in the same town, but not around.
Yeah.
See
So
that?
uncle taught him a few
See
things
that
about
beer?
life.
See that beer koozie? Military grade. How can that?
You know, I got a star named after me.
Military
Uncle
grade.
Brian, is that true?
Military grade.
I don't know. Okay.
And then I was probed.
Tell you that probe. Military grade.
Neighbors thought the fence was extreme and felt compelled to call the police. Henrico police called Public Works, hoping to figure out whether or not the fence encroached on a county easement.
See, now we're going to get into hey, this should be back. You have
Yeah.
it back 4 feet 3
Right.
inches. It should be back 4 feet 9 inches.
At which point you can hear
120 volts, supposed to be 90 volts.
you can hear Tucker yelling, "Show me what's the truth. You know everybody's just giving me different words."
Show me what's the truth.
Maybe if I'm the
That
town,
should be a T-shirt for this.
if I'm the
show.
town, I'm like, leave the fence up just to keep him in.
Yeah.
Show me what's the truth. Everybody's just giving me different words.
That is,
Show me what is the truth.
Right.
yeah.
Tucker does not. This,
that when
this
Jerry
story
Maguire?
takes place over the course of a day. This is early in the day. Tucker does not plan to give in, claiming no trespassing signs do little to deter children from staying away from his yard. Quote, "It says no trespassing for any purpose," says Tucker, "strictly forbidden. Violators will be prosecuted." Parents were outraged after hearing the news, and that's when they called police. Wayne Milby says, "What, you don't like kids? Me, I'm a parent, and I don't want any children to get electrocuted." Taking a hard stance.
Yes.
Wayne Milby taking a hard
Yeah.
stance.
Yes,
I would
sir.
also say, it seems like Tucker does not like kids.
Yeah, I would say so.
Another parent said, "That's a little too extreme. I mean, you're going to let those kids get electrocuted? That's not cool." He wants them to electrocute themselves.
I think the paper is dumb for putting these quotes in. Literally, we only needed one of those where someone came out against the electric fence electrocuting kids.
Yeah, because they have to know that people from outside, what's the name of the town?
Henrico?
Henrico. Outside of Henrico are going to read this, and they shouldn't get such a slice of.
Henrico.
Yeah, of Henrico.
James Mayfield.
The Henrico
The
Palazzo.
less you know about Henrico, the better.
James Mayfood owns 2 houses in the neighborhood and said he felt
You know, he was like, make sure you mention that I own 2 houses.
Yeah.
in this
James
town.
Mayfood of the neighborhood. Well,
Let me be clear.
I do have 2 houses. Right.
I have my weekend house in East Henrico. over by the creek.
The crick.
It's waterfront.
He's like, let me give you my address. Now, which one should I use?
Because there are 2 houses in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
You might want to put that down.
You don't gotta listen to me. I'm just a 2-house owner. Just a man with a few houses.
Hey,
But you
listen,
don't-
man.
no, listen. You want to put me in the paper? Put me in the paper.
Go ahead and collect all your quotes from people who own just one house in this neighborhood.
Now, if I want to,
I'm going to tell it to you straight.
if I want to get a copy of this paper, which address should I give you? I do own more than one.
Now, are you familiar with the board game Monopoly?
I'm passing go
Because
all
one-
day.
I'm about to put a hotel on top of my second residence.
James Miffood.
Now, let me
owns-
just get into my thumb. What do you call the thumb protector?
Now, here's a question for Monopoly, real quick. Is there a way, just saying, the Monopoly updates with the time? Can you turn one of your houses into an Airbnb?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're skipping the whole hotel thing, and you're generating even more income.
You're
Yeah.
generating
On a
money,
house.
Think
but
so.
like
I think
you
they gotta
can pull
deal
a
with it.
card that's like, we didn't do a background check, and one of the people we allowed to be in the house is a pedophile. You go into prison.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you go to jail, or like you get into a shitty Uber and it takes you to like Connecticut Avenue or like one at Baltic, like in a bad neighborhood because
Yeah.
it didn't have the right.
Bad.
All right, go ahead.
Millennial Monopoly.
Millennial Monopoly.
Well, James Miffood, the owner of multiple houses in the neighborhood, said he felt a, quote, slight shock when he touched the fence. Have any of you ever touched an electric fence?
No,
It's
and
not
I
that
will
bad.
never.
It's
Have
not-
you
yeah,
touched
it's
it?
nothing. It's not. You're not going to like...
It's like
It keeps animals like being like, whoa, and then they just turn around and walk back the other way.
it's like
That's
you
all it
touch
is.
something that buzzes you real
Yes.
quick, right?
Yes.
It's like a buzz.
I mean, you can ratchet it up if you
Yeah.
want to, but most of them don't even have
I wouldn't
that
throw
ability, I don't
water
think.
on it.
My wife has an electric fence stick in her nightstand. Mm-hmm. It's just, it doesn't hurt, but it definitely...
Gets you aroused.
Yeah, your rectum feels
Your rectum feels
It's more of a pleasant.
alive. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like the electric fence here, it keeps the kids away.
I like that
You
you.
hope.
Let's not skip over that you called it an electric fence stick. That needs to be noted.
It should be an electric fence wand. We'll get into that later.
So he said he has a slight shock when he touched the fence. Quote, I understand his concern. I just don't think he understood the neighbor's concern about their kids. One of them could touch it and get shocked. Yeah, that's what he wanted to
that's
have.
the whole
He
point.
understands that.
I think he's very clear on it.
The fence, this is the one nod I give to Tucker. The fence was connected to a solar power battery and was a foot away. So
I love
he's
him.
using
Wow.
clean
Suddenly,
energy.
I love him.
Yeah.
It's
I'm like-
renewable
Yeah.
energy.
Clean energy from Tucker
A lot of
blame
mixed
me?
feelings right now.
Blame
know,
the
right?
sun.
on his corner lot. Enrico determined that the fence was on an easement, which makes it illegal. So Tucker, who said he would not back down, took the fence down on Tuesday afternoon.
All right.
Only hours after he put it up.
Wow.
No,
that's
no
expensive.
retreat, no surrender, unless it's on an easement. Then we got to back it up.
County officials told CNN that Tucker could put the fence back up as long as his property line, as long as it was on his property line, which was 18 feet back from the street.
Wow.
Tucker said he hopes he doesn't need to do that. The message has gotten out, and I'm pretty sure to everybody, he said, the point's gotten across.
Okay.
First of all, he didn't need to put the electric fence in through the middle of the sidewalk.
No.
Like, walk it back, bro.
Right,
Walk
right.
it
You
back.
were gonna get
He put
dinged.
it on the edge.
You were gonna get dinged for that, but it's like I got into an argument with my daughter. She like wanted an app on her phone, and I was like, I just worry about it's going to take you two things. One, it's going to take you away from doing your homework, and two, it's going to take you away from. You're going to now be on your phone just focus on your phone, and you won't be like hanging out with other people. And she's like, "Oh, so you don't want me to have a phone?" I was like, no. We didn't. What do you that? You've gone so you put the fucking
All the
fence
way.
on the easement.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get it back to what we're talking about here.
Put it around the app.
And so this guy is like, I'll just put an electric fence up. I know it's going to come down, but I'm making a point.
Right.
So he doesn't give a shit.
It's
He's
like a
I'm making
lawyer
point.
in court saying something that they know is going to be struck.
Right.
Strike it.
But I just put it out there.
Hey,
Yeah.
jury
That's
already
what
heard
I'm
it.
saying.
The other thing I might point out is this fence is not going to deter them on all days. It's solar. On a cloudy day,
Yeah,
they're
getting
all over that property.
They're getting
They're
in.
Dropping
stuffing
Dorito wrappers.
through the.
8-hour energy drinks spewed all over the cloudy lawn.
And we'll get out of here. This is my favorite picture. It's Brian Tucker.
Taking down the fence.
Yeah, just walking around with his rolled up
Look at
electric
him.
fence.
God, he's wearing boots, military grade. He's
And honestly, I can't tell if in his pocket there's a gun
Or it's like one of
or
those
a clip-on phone, like a Sidekick cell phone. He's clipped to his
Nokia
belt.
Pebble phone clipped
Yeah.
to his belt, or
Yeah.
one of those like Craftsman tools that can do everything.
And I
Yeah.
don't know which is worst.
Backup plan will be what?
Well,
There isn't one.
There isn't
he's
one.
Hoping, he's hoping he made his point.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's like I
that's
made my
story
point.
two.
Look, to
guys.
me, here's what I'm going to say. If you hate the kids at that hour doing it, you don't need to put up an electric fence. You start watering your lawn.
Yeah,
every
that's right.
morning
Water
at
your lawn.
7:45.
Very simple.
No
Turn the
kid-
sprinklers on. No kid's going to stand in the water on the way to school. You water your lawn for 15 minutes when they're waiting for the bus. Done.
Very
Good
smart.
point.
Very smart.
Thank you.
Jay. Get it out.
Talk to me first.
There you go.
dummy.
All right, there you go. That's two stories down in
It
the
is.
books. Dan, can you give
Not
us a
as-
little tease of what we were going to see in story 3?
It is the story of probably one of the worst, what would you say, robbers? Thieves?
Yeah, burglars.
Burglars we've ever had.
Worst or dumbest?
He's just bad.
He's bad at burgling.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so you're bad at burgling. Stick around. More Dumb People Town. Greg Fitzsimmons, right?
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
Hey there, Adam Conover here. Humans Who Make Games is my podcast where I sit down with the people who created some of your favorite video games and have the kind of long-form personal conversation we so rarely get to hear. We talk about how they got into the industry, what their favorite games were growing up, and what it's like working in the trenches of this century's greatest new art form. This season, we've got a whole batch of new interviews for you. I talked to Kim Swift from Portal, Alex Preston from Hyperlight Drifter, Anna McGill from Control, and Alex Beecham from the game Outer Wilds. Whether you love video games or you just love learning more about other artists' creative process, I can guarantee you're going to love this podcast. So, you can get Season 2 of Humans Who Make Games wherever you get your podcasts. Take a listen.
Hey guys, welcome back to Dumb People Town. Dan, shows coming up.
Yes, actually, I just announced the second leg of my Together tour. So on November 1st, I am going to be in Seattle, Washington, then the next day in Bellingham, and then the day after that in Eugene, and then in Portland.
Yep.
And that'll wrap us up all the way until the 5th of November, where I will be in San Francisco. And then the 9th of November, I will be in LA doing the Together tour at the Dynasty Type Writer Theater.
Great
Go to
venue.
danielvankirk.com to check out all of the dates for the second leg of
I
my
love that
Together
the site
tour.
is up and running. And check our site, superscholars.com. We have a bunch of dates, and we're
A couple weeks, we're in Denver. We're in Boulder on a Wednesday night. Then we're in Denver at Comedy Works, and then
Wow.
love that club. And then a few weeks after that, we're going to be at the All Things Comedy Festival doing this
Heck
podcast
yeah.
live
In
We're-
Phoenix and
and we're going to
Tempe.
be at the Tempe Improv on Friday night, and then we're in Austin, Texas at Cap City, which is just one of the best clubs in the country.
November
that's
7th through
a
the
good
10th.
run.
Yeah,
It's a good run. It's a
Lot
good
of good
run.
shows.
No
And
Nice.
Niagara Falls, but it's a good
I
run.
mean, it's not
it ain't
Niagara
Niagara.
Falls. But look,
Let's get
Can I
into
mention one other quick thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm launching a new podcast. You
You
know
are.
Allison Rosen.
love her.
love her.
She is
We have
your
a new
best friend.
podcast called Childish that launches next week.
Love it.
Great.
And it's me instructing her. She's got a young child. I have teenagers, and
Yeah.
I'm sharing with her how to raise children.
I love that,
That is
idea.
a great. Haven't heard it before.
Is there a network it's attached to, or are you guys
We're
independently?
indie, baby.
All right.
Nice.
Check that out. That will be hilarious. We've had her on this show when she was promoting her book. She is wonderful.
Yeah, she's great.
You guys
loved her. You fans of this show loved her. I'm sure you love Fitz Dog, so it's a wonderful match made in heaven. Check that out. Childish. It's coming out. It'll be out by the time
It'll be
I think
out.
this drops.
I think so.
Beautiful.
Great.
All
Love
right,
it.
check it
Heck
out.
yeah. Are you
Dan,
ready?
Let's
Yes.
do it.
Sent in by Josh Mowat. Mo.
Again.
Mowat. I don't know.
He's a twofer today.
Double
He is.
dip, man.
At JMOUAT. Thanks, buddy. He hashtag Dumb People Town at Daniel Van Kirk on
That's the
Twitter.
way to do it.
And that's how it works. On Sunday, a man wearing a red ball cap. Fred Durst.
Cardinals fan?
A
Fred
man
Durst?
wearing a red ball cap to me sounds like Stanley Tucci in a movie. You know what
okay.
I mean? Like
Yeah,
him,
no, I get that.
He's
I
an
feel
evil
that.
guy. He's wearing a red ball cap. Is there a team attached to it? No, we couldn't get it clear.
There's about to be.
Sounds like a blood. to
He's
me.
wearing a red ball cap, sunglasses, and a Denver Broncos sweatshirt.
Okay.
Repeatedly,
Flashing red and orange
Yeah,
together.
it's
Does
terrible.
not look good.
walked back and forth in front of the store Apparently, it took several passes to confirm the female store clerk was alone. That's one thing. If you're going to go commit a crime somewhere, make sure you get easily identified as having hung around the business before you commit it. Immediately.
That's
before
why
you
most burglars
Invest
get
in
binoculars.
Most burglars are always in every movie you see them. They're not wearing like a black ski mask and a turtleneck. They're wearing a red hat and a
Sunglasses.
professional sports logo.
Right.
Yeah.
You want logos. That's one thing you want when you're committing a crime. Identifiable logos.
Which is more embarrassing for the Broncos, this guy or drafting Paxton Lynch? Most specific sports
toss-up.
reference ever.
It's a
All right.
Both guys were released.
All right.
But it all started to go wrong for this attempted robber when he tried to pull out a gun from the waistband of his loose black pants.
Tried to pull it out.
As he did so, his gloved hand lost its grip and the gun went flying over the counter. You've already lost.
Is this a Jerry Lewis bit? What was the movie? What's the Jerry Lewis movie that we
Cracking Up.
Cracking Up? Are you familiar with it?
Not familiar with it.
It is
It's
just
a sketch?
sketches. He's older, so it's probably like 80 or
80.
79.
I'll tell you exactly.
Tell me what year it came out. It is
I want to
just
say 81 or 82.
there is a sketch where he shows up to his old school therapist's office, and the entire sketch is this. Everything in the office, including the floor, is super
83.
slippery, and he can't.
I got it for you, brother.
83?
83.
Filmed in 82 as an 83 comedy.
But
So he was doing physical comedy in his late 50s.
Late 50s, 60s, maybe 60-ish.
Yeah.
And there was a whole thing
50s.
where he couldn't walk across the floor. It was so slippery, and he sat on the couch and he slid off, and he couldn't open the candies. It is like the most schmaltziest, Jerry Lewis-iest thing ever. Like this little bit of a gun flying out of the pants would totally happen.
That's great.
Right.
Would totally happen.
Oh,
And there
totally
was a
happen.
bank robbery sketch in that movie, and then there was an old There was an old French Revolution sketch
Where he's trying to leave a prison and put a dummy in a prison cell so that he can leave out of it.
and he turns to the camera and breaks the fourth wall. And what does he say? I forgot.
No, there's a light that comes on him, and he's like, and then he turns to the camera and is like, where I get Japanese from, I have no idea.
God.
Breaks the fourth wall, French Revolution. Where I get Japanese from.
I have no. And someone was leave it in.
That's great. Well, what was the Woody Allen
That's
movie
probably
where he
him.
escapes from jail using a piece of soap that he used shoe polish on to make to look like a gun?
Was that
Like a
Take
gun.
the Money and Run?
Yeah, take the money and
Yeah.
run.
Well, this gun went flying over the counter as in quotes from the Aurora Police Department from their post on Facebook, and it was all caught on security surveillance video at the E-Sig of Denver store in Colorado.
He was
But it
56
didn't
when
stop
he did
there. After the would-be robber fumbled the gun and it went flying over the...
So he is
he is a
very
Denver
true to the
Bronco.
Denver Broncos. He
Fumbling.
fumbled the gun.
Yes.
Fumbling the gun.
Fumbling the gun.
And right after the video captured his mouth opening, he tried to jump over the counter and grab his gun.
Yeah.
Let me get that back and try that again.
But he could not get over the waist-high counter. So then he gets stuck.
It is a Jerry Lewis sketch.
As he was struggling, the employee then picked up the gun and held it like a club, like was holding the barrel of the gun.
You know, the way a gun should be used.
When the man saw the employee with his gun step up to the counter, he turned around and started running towards the door.
His pants definitely fell down.
That's when his loose pants truly became a problem for the man who was also wearing white sunglasses, which might be the biggest offense.
He ran out to his cabriolet convertible.
As he
Was
kicked
he shooting a Beastie Boys video?
What is happening right now?
Listen, all of y'all, this is happening.
As he kicked the glass door open, his black pants fell to his knees.
Yep.
And just before the glass door closes behind him, he kind of loses his pants and is forced to pull them back up before running through the parking lot. Public Information Officer Kenneth Forrest told the Wichita Eagle. The man got away, but not without a new nickname. Forrest
He got away?
called the man the department's bumbling bandit. Not a great nickname.
No,
I
that's
feel
not
we coulda-
good.
Bumbling bandit.
I don't want to downplay the seriousness of an armed robbery, but the guy really does belong in the world's dumbest criminals. Chris Burgess, the owner of the store, told the Denver Post he needs to find a new career or practice.
I don't
Also,
know that-
you're robbing a vape store. It's all hipsters. They don't use cash.
Right?
True.
There's no cash in the till.
He tried to rob his Venmo account.
The gun Actually, a BB gun with the orange tip removed, made to look like a replica handgun, was left at the store. Yeah, no shit. He couldn't even hold on to it.
Yeah.
The police are hoping to get fingerprints from it, Forrest told the Eagle. I am going to post this to the Dumb People Town page.
If you know this
video,
guy.
is there
You guys
video?
are now going to get to watch
the
this
video.
guy.
Oh, great.
The best is that the cashier tried to beat the guy with a plastic toy
BB
gun,
gun.
and the guy ran from it.
I know. All right, ready?
This
Here
is
we
just
go.
a plan. Okay, so here he is, Denver Bronco. Oh, he dropped it off.
Can't get over.
He runs out. Oh, pants go down. Pants go down.
He tries to do a cool door kick open. There's another angle from it.
He dropped it.
Oh,
Can he
she
get over?
freaks out. She
Can't
picks
get
it up.
She picks it up.
Holds it like a...
Oh, look at that poor girl.
Yeah,
oh my
she
God, she's
handles
like,
her
ah!
shit. She handles her shit.
She handles her shit.
She handles it.
And he just kicked. By the way,
I don't know if this video version of it keeps going. Yeah, it doesn't. But so after he leaves, she just walks over, comes around the corner, locks the fucking door, walks back over, and just like gets on the phone.
Yeah,
that's
that's
this
it.
moron.
She's like Monday.
And hopefully, part of me
Yeah.
is like hoping she held it like a club because she was like, "That's not even a real gun."
No.
Yeah.
like she knew right away. She's like,
This will do more damage if I hit it
blunt
with you this
object
way.
Style
There you go.
will do
Yeah.
more damage than this plastic gun. Oh
That
my
is what
God.
the guy himself is. Basically,
So I
a
cannot
blunt
wait
object.
to post this
He's
to
a
the Facebook
bumbling
page.
burglar with a blunt object.
Yeah.
Bumbling blunt.
Trust me,
object burglar.
townies.
You'll
want to
see this. It's worth it to join
It's
the
just a
page.
great 10 seconds of
man.
pulling
An
it out
idiot.
and it fumbling over the
Now,
edge.
can they see this without paying your premium content?
Of course, yeah.
fee?
Of course.
This is
Wow,
just
that's
what we
free.
give out. This will
is
go
on the
to
Facebook page.
You guys give a lot away.
we do give a lot away, but then we also give a lot away to our fans who sign up for the drip.
Yeah.
You get even more content. You get even more stuff.
Those are our stories, friends.
Greg Fitzsimmons. Fitzdog. The new podcast is going to be called
Childish.
I love
with
it.
our buddy Allison Rosen. She's your new best friend. She's our we
Old
love
best
her.
friend.
Yeah.
Old best friend. Greg Fitzsimmons, Allison Rosen, Childish. It's out now as this podcast is dropped. Check out Fitzdog Radio. It's one of our favorite things. Are they still doing it on Sirius Radio or no?
We do Sirius and the podcast.
Great.
That's right.
And then go see him live. Go see him live. He's a killer stand-up.
Best
if you're
of luck
in the Northeast.
all that you do. The fact that you continue to work is always like
A
to me,
miracle.
It is. No, it makes me happy. It makes me happy. It
Gives us
says like
hope.
there's justice in the world. That smart, funny people
Yeah.
continue to work and do your thing, and it just makes me really happy. And I love having you here. You have an open invite.
I love it. God
Always.
bless. And let's get you guys back on Fitzdog Radio very
Let's
soon.
do it, and Dan
Dan.
Van Kirk too. All right,
All right.
Shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down. It's Dumb People Town.
It's a good show.